As the third wave in the province subsides, more international airlines are scheduled to return to our airports. Visitors are expected to travel to South Africa, giving the industry a strong summer season. Now, 19 months into the lockdown, Africa's tourism sector is reigniting after being upended by the global coronavirus pandemic. The Department of Tourism and SATourism have announced the first ever African Travel and Tourism Summit, which is set to be held in September this month, the 20th and the 21st. And starting from tomorrow, Short Left will be launching a great sale to launch Travel Month. To tell us more, we're joined now by the acting CEO of the South African Tourism, Thembiso Dlamini. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. Tell us about this initiative. It sounds amazing.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to the listeners. Like you said, that as a sector, we're looking forward to the sector recovering, and we've seen a lot of airlines, flying into South Africa, starting to fly back into South Africa. So Short Left Travel Week is really a response to South Africans, looking at the issue of affordability, or the challenge of affordability, which is really a big factor when people consider traveling in and around our beautiful country. So the campaign really is about giving all South Africans their access to, the length and breadth of what South Africa has to offer within the tourism space. So it is one of those most significant tourism marketing opportunities that we provide for both South Africans, but also for our supply side, which is the products and the attractions and the experiences.
Let's talk about the strategy now and the places that you've earmarked as potential sales to South Africans and those who may be visiting.
So one of the key challenges that we have is that South Africa has got 9 provinces, and if you look at provinces or places that get visited a lot, they're not a lot. So you know that there are those high season, destinations where people are going to travel to during those travel seasons. So what Short Left Travel Week does, one of it is trying to respond to the whole issue around regional spread. That's why we're encouraging products, tourism businesses from across South Africa, all the 9 provinces, to sort of load their packages so that we can deal with the whole issue around regional spread. So, who participates in Short Left Travel Week from a trade point of view? So you've got an accommodation sector, you've got attractions, you've got experiences, you've got transport providers, you've got airlines, and you've got just tourism businesses that puts together packages, for people to travel. So that's who we're targeting. So what we tried to ask them to do is go onto our website, put together your packages or your offering, and offer South Africans up to 50% discount, from the week of the 6th to the 12th of September, wherein South Africans can actually go into Short Left and book. But the beauty about it is that they can travel anytime within the year, and of course, T's and C's applies for from those who are participating.
Before the COVID-19 pandemic, it was estimated that 700,000 people in South Africa were directly or indirectly involved in the tourism industry. And, that's a huge, significant chunk of the South African population, really speaking to the impact of tourism on the South African economy. Where are we standing now as you make this call, encouraging South Africans and others visiting to really enjoy the provincial attractions and really make sure that South Africa is sold to the world?
So indeed, tourism has been known as that sector that contributes immensely to the economy of the country, as well as jobs. I mean, if I look at our levels of 2019, just pre-COVID, our international arrivals were sitting at around 10 million arrivals. And combined, if you look at the revenue that we generated then, was sitting at around 118 or 110 billion rand into the economy just for 1 year. And you are quite correct to say that the sector itself supported directly, by the way, 700,000 jobs and indirectly 1.5 million jobs, which begins to show you that if you look at tourism, that other sectors that actually feed into, tourism. Case in point would be the textile industry, where people actually provide linen and other, services to hotels, accommodation sectors, B&Bs, and so forth. You look at agricultural sector that actually provides food to restaurants, to hotels, to B&Bs. If you look at the transport sector, which is a key enabler to actually getting people moving around, in and around, attractions, but also provinces. Airlines as well play an important role. So if you look at other sectors, tourism is that one sector that actually, provides a glue. It sort of actually has a touch point in so many, sectors. Right now, we haven't conducted a study which shows the exact number of job losses, but we do know that a lot of tourism businesses had to lay off their staff. I mean, we are 17 months into lockdown, and we're now about to conduct an audit as to which businesses have folded, which businesses have closed down, and what does it mean from a jobs point of view and its contribution, and see where, together with our partners, where can we assist to ensure that we resuscitate and rejuvenate the supply side, so that when all the borders open and people, people from in and around the world are now allowed to travel to South Africa, we are ready from a supply side to fulfill.
As you make this call, encouraging travel in and around South Africa, to South Africa, we do know that COVID-19 is still with us. It's a reality. As you and I speak, 182 people succumbed to the virus in the past 24 hours, which really is quite telling when it comes to the impact and the aggression of COVID-19. What are some of your concerns and perhaps some measures that you have in place as you sell South Africa, also considering that COVID-19 also is something to always have at the back of our minds?
So then, just by those statistics, you begin to realize that for tourism to work and for the tourism sector to recover, we really need to have an all-government approach, and where you have government, private sector, citizens working together. Right now, we do know that we sort of our vaccine rollout is picking up. I don't know what the stats are now, but I know that last week, by Friday, when I did some interviews, we were sitting at around 12 million South Africans that have been vaccinated, which really is a key factor that is going to enable this sector to recover. One of the key determining factors of whether someone will choose a destination to travel to is whether that country has now reached that hypothetical, herd immunity status. And we've seen a lot of countries in the Northern Hemisphere beginning to go back to normal. People are traveling, people are taking, their vacation, people are traveling to other, countries. I mean, right now, if you look at Europe, there was breaking news where France says, we welcome South Africans who are fully vaccinated. So you begin to see the trend. The trend is that a lot of countries will allow people, only those people that are vaccinated, to enter their countries. As a result, you won't be, expected to quarantine, as long as you won't be expected to take a COVID test, as long as you show that you have now vaccinated. So I think the most important thing for us, given that our numbers we're looking at numbers of infection, we really have to encourage South Africans, and even in the 12 Channels Week, shoplifts campaign, we do encourage South Africans to still follow the protocols of social distancing, wearing their masks, and making sure that they sanitize their hands and wash their hands. But what is also going to be important for the sector itself, so people who are participating, the businesses, they have to ensure that they follow the protocol, the COVID-19 protocols, ensuring that the rooms are cleaned in the accommodation sector, people sanitize in the restaurants, they keep to the numbers as stated in the legislation. So all of us have got to work together to ensure that we can comply with the COVID protocols, thereby ensuring that all travelers can gain confidence on our destination.
It's important that you speak about confidence, and you also mention trends, because we do need that confidence booster as a nation, as the world at large. And as we look at perhaps some of the aspects that you're speaking to, what are the interesting trends that we're seeing when it comes to the actual traveler who's moving around, aware of their surroundings, and perhaps also even aware of the sort of expectations on their part when it comes to ensuring that they are indeed safe and protecting themselves and those around them?
So we've seen quite an interesting trend. The key one is people who are searching for that, and because of the market portfolio that we have, we market in different jurisdictions. So we actually check what is the shift in consumer behavior given COVID-19. One of the things that people do when they search, the first thing that they search is how is the vaccine rollout? Are people in South Africa vaccinated? And they want to know things like, your hospitals and all that, all the health and safety components that we've got to take into account. So we've seen the whole issue of safety and security being heightened up. Previously, people would search, am I safe? But right now, people are searching, am I safe in terms of if I get sick, would I actually get, assistance? Hence, it's very important for us to have this vaccine rollout successfully completed, because what it does, it means, it reduces the number of people who are in hospitals. It releases the hospitals to be available for other patients. But the second thing that we see is people want to travel to destinations that are sort of responsible. So the whole thing around responsible tourism is dialing up. So responsible tourism around sustainability, are we kinder to the environment? We're known for wildlife. So are we practicing sustainable practices around wildlife? And communities, are communities actually benefiting from tourism? So we are seeing a lot of travelers being conscious travelers. Mm-hmm. So we've got to ensure that we do integrate communities.
So I'm going to have to interrupt you. Unfortunately, we're out of time. But thank you so much for engaging us and speaking as the SATourism short-lift sale begins on Monday, selling South Africa as a destination site. Speaking there to Thembiso, who is the acting CEO of Tourism SA. Thank you so much for your time.